There's no doubt that Matt Groening has had a massive influence on the world of animation and subversive comedy. His newest show, Disenchantment, aired on Netflix and got a little bit of hate from critics. Also, critics are dumb and suck. Most of them only got the first few episodes and decided they were just going to trash it publicly. It's like they forgot the slow burn that Futurama was. If you haven't watched Disenchantment yet, do it now and thank me later. But if you're a casual fan instead of an obsessed nerd, you probably missed some of the background Easter eggs. There's some videos out there claiming they've spotted them all, but I call bullshit on that. Let's fix it. What's up, everybody? It's Ryan from the Chumpcast. I'm flying solo this week. Mark said this was too nerdy for him, so I'm going to do it alone. So we're here to talk about Easter eggs from Disenchantment that relate to The Simpsons and Futurama. Obviously, you got to start big, so let's get with the big one that everybody's talking about. At the very end of Season 1, Lucy uses his magic ball to show King Zog what really happened on a certain day 15 years ago. If you watch really closely, you'll see a still shot of Fry, Professor Farnsworth, and Bender in the time machine used in Futurama's The Late Philip J. Fry. Those of you familiar with the show will remember that the professor invented a time machine that could only go forward in time.
Time? I can't go back there!
But this time machine only goes forward in time. That way you can't accidentally change history or do something disgusting like sleep with your own grandmother.
I wouldn't want to do that again.
They end up going too far, because hijinks, and search for a backwards time machine to no avail. They give up and fly through the literal heat death of the universe, only to watch the Big Bang reoccur and kickstart again the universe they were living in. Time is a flat circle, man. Now, the obvious conclusion here is that Disenchantment takes place in one of the many medieval spans shown in the Futurama history timeline. My personal favorite is year 1,500,000, when humankind was enslaved by giraffes. Everyone else stole that time travel theory, so I'm going to take this somewhere else. In the very first episode of Disenchantment, you can see in the background what sure looks a whole lot like the Planet Express ship. So maybe this runs concurrent with Futurama, but it's not actually Earth, and instead a faraway planet. The Futurama time machine actually goes through all of time twice, again because hijinks. Maybe one of those universes was just a few light years to the left, and that's what caused these timelines to cross over. Let's just keep speculating.
You're not going anywhere.
There are a ton of obvious connections between these shows, starting with the character designs. I could probably do this all day, but that's not why you're here, so let's just do the Cliff Notes. Alpha was reminiscent of the Happy Little Elves, a favorite show of Maggie Simpson's. He also could definitely be part Neptunian, working in Robot Santa's toy mines. While his clothes do match those of Bart Simpson, his nose and his furrowed brow are pulled directly from Moe Szyslak's face. Now, interestingly, Matt Groening actually said that Alpha was his first character design ever, so technically all these other characters are the ripoffs. He damn sure looks like one of the munchkins from Futurama, Bender's Game.
Put aside your cares and feast on the succulent flesh of the roast munchkin!
Ooh.
Care for a slice of scroto?
That's his name, right?
'Tis also that, sir.
King Zog's crown has an antenna, just like his voice actor, John DiMaggio's character Bender, and Zog's son does too. Queen Bunny is a dead ringer for a younger mom from Futurama. Not convinced? Let's go lightning round. King Zog's knights dress like the Cruds, not the Blips, from Futurama. The weird hooker fairy looks a whole lot like Petunia. The Seeker's robes are just like the Stonecutters from The Simpsons. Uter is just a young Hansel. And Gwen is basically the crazy cat lady. The list goes on, but you get the point.
The bee bit my bottom! Now my bottom's big!
It doesn't take long for the creators to dip into one of their favorite tropes, the background sign gag. We're barely into the first episode when we get this gem, referencing fresh dog milk. Obviously this is gross and stupid, but it definitely reminds me of a certain scene between Mayor Quimby and Fat Tony in The Simpsons.
Ooh, mini cannoli! Hey, I called that! I saw it first! Come back here! Milking room. I hope you cows are decent. Crap on a crutch! They're milking rats! Milking rats! Rats? I'm outraged. You promised me dog or hire.
Again, I could spend hours talking about the witty background signs in The Simpsons, Futurama, and Disenchantment, but that's just not why you're here. Instead, I'll give you a few of my favorites from this season. We have the Apothecary, with over 3 different medicines. At Bean's wedding, your presence is requested, but your presents are required. We can stop by for breakfast at the Kraken Barrel. When you enter Dreamland, you're graced with a sign that shows you that they now have 5 village idiots. Also, shout out to this dude for sneaking a peek and then definitely paying for it.
Anybody looks at her, they get their head chopped off.
Oh boy, did I look at her. What?
We have the Little Seizures Poison Shop. Prince Merkimer goes to the Royal Wigsmith, heir to the throne. A blatant 7-Eleven reference here. Our Lady of Unlimited Chastity, starring live prude girls. The Little Orphan Annex. And the Public Flogging, where you can bring the kids. Shout out to Reddit user Albol's Garage Sale for compiling a full list, including pictures, on the subreddit. If you want more ridiculousness, check out the subreddit for Disenchantment. Sticking with the background Easter egg theme here, we get a nice reference to El Barto the Vandal with the aptly named Carvo tag.
Dad, what is that?
Well, if Bart can be El Barto...
The first episode also references the creator's very favorite podcast of all time.
Stand back, chumps. Watch as a non-chump chumps these chumps.
If you want to be rich and famous just like them, you should definitely download the Chumpcast. Alright, how about this for a reused joke?
The time is 4 a.m.
4 o'clock and all is well. Actually, well is a bit of an overstatement. Acceptable is more like it. If you consider death, disease, and rampant poverty acceptable.
Shut up! You know what time it is?
4:01 and all is well.
So this part might not be a reference, but I can't figure out what the hell it is. Take a look at the background of this shot. Can you see it? Let's turn up the brightness a little bit. What the hell is that? Here we get a direct reference to Futurama. Prince Merkimer is getting fitted for his royal wig, but this particular hairstyle might look a little bit familiar. Yeah, I think that's Philip J. Fry if I've ever seen it. I can't quite tell if this is supposed to be Leela's hair and this one may be Lisa Simpson's, but I guess if we want to stretch for it, we can include that too. Also, who is this little gray dude? I think my favorite reference is to a super deep cut from The Simpsons. If you can think back to season 2, you definitely remember this little gem with Marge Bouvier.
If you pinch your cheeks, they'll glow. A little more. Try to break some capillaries, dear. Couldn't we just use rouge for this? Ladies pinch. Whores use rouge.
And I'll be damned if that's not referenced directly here between Bunty and Princess Bean.
Don't worry, we'll make your cheeks look nice and rosy. Remember, whores rouge, ladies leech.
That's good stuff. Now, Groening and his team absolutely love to reuse pop culture references. It's very apparent here by this dogs playing poker in the background scene. We have to go all the way back to Season 5's Treehouse of Horror, but it's definitely there.
We come now to the final and most terrifying painting of the evening. To even gaze upon it is to go mad.
They're dogs, and they're playing poker!
That also produced one of the best screen grabs of all time. We got one more super obvious reference to The Simpsons, and that's with Oddball's third eye.
Oddball, oof, you're in charge. Keep your eyes on Bean and her weird friends.
Oh, neat. I'm gonna name them Winky, Blinky, and Soul Stealer.
Please don't name my eyes.
Longtime Simpsons fans will certainly recognize the three-eyed goldfish, Blinky, that mutated as a result of Montgomery Burns dumping his nuclear waste in the old fishing hole. This is obviously one of Groening's favorite tricks. So let's just supercut some of these in here.
Well, howdy, little fella. Ow! Oh, ow! No! I can't wait till this is over! Ow!
We're going to end this with a big list of unanswered questions from Disenchantment Season 1. What is Queen Dagmar's goal? Does Bean have powers? Or a secret destiny? Who the hell are these wizards? Who grabs Lucy at the end of this season?
I should be the one creeping everyone out. You.
And most importantly, who saved Elfo? I want to hear your theories on all these questions. Leave a comment below or get us on all social media at the Chumpcast. For more in-depth reviews, check out our podcast, The Chumpcast, wherever podcasts are available. Be sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for our next deep dive. Till next time, Chumps out.